to episode 185 of the Guy Guns Podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. In this week's show, we'll be talking about the upcoming Judgment Day and what it means to you. Bandwidth sponsor, Farms Radio Network. Thank you, Farms Radio Network. Thank you, Jake, for helping put our shows out there.
Also, crossbreed holsters. If you're carrying a gun, you should be carrying a crossbreed holster. The most comfortable holster in the world, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross. Also,
go ahead.
Yeah, also our new sponsor, Axles and Tactical. They're custom gun, they're rifle, pistol, and knife makers, and they make a precision rifle that's just out of the world. It's an awesome gun. Troy and I both have one. We shoot them, love them. And they are now one of our sponsors, and they want to help you get one of their rifles. Go out and look at their site, axlesandtactical.com, and use our promo code God and Guns, and they'll get you a discount on it.
Cool. This week's God and Gun activities, Doug, what have you been up to?
Oh man, this has been it's been a good week this week. Let's see. Sunday, of course, I've been doing my devotionals, Sportsman's Daily Devotional and Words from Jesus for Men. Church on Sunday. We had a great service Sunday. We had a tribute to all the active duty military guys that go to our church that are serving currently, and we had a guest speaker. He's a retired Navy chaplain that came in and spoke, and he brought up a fact. I feel like Sheldon Cooper on Big Bang Theory. Facts about flags, but he actually said one that I did not know, that in a battle group, if you have an active chaplain that is doing a service in a carrier group or whatever, the ship they're on, they have a Christian flag that can actually fly above the U.S. flag when they're doing it. Did not know that. I didn't know that you could actually fly a flag above the U.S. flag, but apparently in the Navy they do that when the chaplain is doing services or whatever, and he is in that battle group. If he's assigned to that group, they can fly it. And he had a couple pictures of it, and never knew that. So fun facts with flags. So that was pretty cool. But let's see, this weekend guns, of course, everyday carry. I got my suppressor. Finally, there it is. I got it on my M&P 22 compact. Man, this suppressor has been a nightmare to try to get.
Show clear.
Show clear. It's clear. Yeah. I checked it earlier, so it is clear.
Yeah, you gotta check it.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're gonna get snarky remarks.
It's all clear. All good. All good.
Magazine's
empty. But when I got the suppressor, I ordered an thread adapter for it. I don't know, right after I bought the suppressor, I guess, and I've had it in my safe. Hadn't even looked at it. Ordered it from Tactical Incorporated. Got it. It came in. It said Smith & Wesson M&P 22. Put it in the safe. Didn't give it another thought. So I got my suppressor that day. I came home. I was so excited. I got the gun out. Actually, I got my gun back from my daughter who had it, who thought it was her gun now, and I had to reiterate to her that it was not. But I got my gun back, got the suppressor. I got the thread protector off the barrel. I'm putting everything together, and the thread adapter won't fit. I'm like, what gives? Oh, no. So I called Smith & Wesson. I'm like, it's not working. It's a 1/2 by 28 adapter, and that's what it's supposed to be. And the girl at Smith & Wesson tells me that I have a 3/8 by 24. I'm like, that don't sound right. So I called Tactical Incorporated, who is on the Pacific Coast, and they said, that don't sound right. He's like, tell me what you got. I said, I got a Smith & Wesson M&P 22 compact. He goes, okay. And he said, what's the package say? I said, Smith & Wesson M&P 22. He goes, oh, well, there's your problem. I'm like, what?
Compact.
He said, compact. He said, it's 2 different size barrels. he said, so you got to get the one for the compact. I was like, oh man. So cost me $21, and 2 days later to get my thread adapter to come in so I could put it on. And it came in. I got it all set up and shot it. And hey, works great.
Cool.
Our buddy Charlie Watson and Joe Moe, it actually came from them, from Ackless Defense. So Charlie, if you're watching, great job on the suppressor.
Looks good.
It does. So actually, it was a great week. Now it was a great week for guns, because look what else I got. And it is clear as well. I got an M&P, or not M&P. I got a Kel-Tec sub 2000 Glock 19 mag 9mm, and I owe it to my buddy Rick, who was looking out for me. He was actually doing a trade, and a guy wanted to trade him this gun, and he said, I really don't need that thing, but my buddy Doug would probably like to have it, which I would. I did, and so I did a little swapping with him, and so we're all happy. I almost didn't get it away from his wife. He made a mistake and let his wife shoot it, and she liked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was.
Yeah, a lot of people really like the way they shoot.
Yeah, it was almost bad, but but hey, I got
marks on
it. Yeah. But I got it, and I was a happy camper, and that thing folds up, and you can put it in a backpack. You can put it in anything. It's just great. I didn't even realize it, Charlie. If you're listening, it's got a threaded barrel on it for 9mm, so I may have to get me another suppressor and wait another year to get one. But hey, whatever.
Well, I would say that the backlog is finally, probably gone. Everybody was waiting for the passage of the Hearing Protection Act, which I don't think is going to happen because of the rhinos we got up there.
Right.
But I think you might get it through a little faster now. I think there was just that glut before the big, election that was just jammed up. Everybody was trying to get it before Hillary got in there.
Yeah, that, and I think that's when Obama had changed the forms that if you had a trust and all that kind of stuff we talked about, but there was a mad rush trying to get them all in before that date hit. Right. So hey, I got it now, so I'm a happy camper. I got to shoot both of them. They shoot great. Also, I actually picked up a steel target, AR-500 half-inch steel target. It's a 10-inch gong on a stand with chains hanging down that you can hang it on. From Cabela's, they had it on sale for $79, and it's a 10-inch plate. And I had it out when I got the Kel-Tec, and I took the Axelson with me. My buddy Rick likes to shoot that gun, so every time I go up, I take it with me. And we had it out at 100 yards, and I was wearing it out, man. And it held up. It's got, typical, when an AR strikes it, just a little dimple where it hits, but no, dude, I shot it. He's got a, Rick is my buddy that won that,
that one.
ER Shaw 308 rifle up at NRA a couple years ago. And I had never got to shoot it. And so he brought it out when we were shooting the other day, and I had that plate set up. And I was like, it should take it. We'll see. If it goes through, I'll order another one. So we had it out at 100 yards, man. I laid that ER Shaw up there and pulled the trigger, and it knocked paint slap off that target in every direction when it hit it. And but it was out there swinging. I was like, well, it didn't go through, I don't think. So I shot it twice more, and that's a sweet shooting little rifle. But that target held up, man, on them chains. They just pushed it right on back.
Was you shooting at 100 yards?
100 yards, yep.
Yeah. You don't want to shoot anything closer than that.
No.
Things go bad.
Yeah. What, shooting with a rifle?
Yeah. I had a hardened steel target and had it out at 75 yards and 223 at 50 yards. And I shot, and it didn't move. It didn't even budge. So I shot like 3 or 4 more times. Like, I know I'm hitting that thing. Ain't no way I'm missing it. Walked out there and it looked like somebody just took a drilled holes through it. It's right through it. Like false advertising.
You shooting green tips?
No, I was just shooting no varmint. This hollow point cheap UMC stuff.
Oh, geez.
It was zipping right through there like it wasn't nothing, man. I was shooting cheap, 223 ammo. Cheap back then. But yeah, I've gotten a lot better targets since then. I don't shoot them with rifles unless I'm way out there.
I should be able to move that. I should be able to move that thing up pretty close and shoot with a pistol, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you don't want to shoot any closer. I think it's 30 feet. Is that right? 30 feet. Unless you're using that frangible ammunition.
Yeah, then you can shoot right on top of it. But
yeah, you can. I'm not gonna get that close. I know they said. I see them shoot 4 inches away from the plate, flying every which direction. I'm like,
I can tell you,
I don't need to be that close.
I can tell you one thing it did do to it. The stand is like aluminum tubing. Yeah, it goes around the chain. It's got steel chains that hang down to hold the plate, but the legs on it. After I shot it with that 308 3 times, I had big old skint marks on the legs where the splatter hit the legs on it. So I don't know how long it was. Hey, and my buddy Rick, he didn't hit the gong. He was shooting a 22 at it just to see if he could hit it, and he hit one of the legs of all things. He hits the leg dead center.
The hole?
No, he just dented it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
but it was all good. We broke it. We broke it in right.
You did right. Huh?
Yeah. So what you been up to, man? You've been around the world and back.
Feels like it. I feel like I've been drugged around the world and back. It was a great success. The mission trip was a good success. We'll talk about it more in the main topic, but it was 9 days of travel and work. We left on a Sunday, got back like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's such a drive out there, and taking 25 people on a trip. You're lucky if you don't have a mutiny, and outbreaks and fussing. Everybody got along great. Everybody was showing grace to each other. It was a haul. It was a lot of work. They knocked it out quick. We all worked together and moved around to wherever jobs needed to be done. The pastor out there added some jobs to us at the last minute, so that was exciting. But we got them knocked out, and we got done a day early. Well, probably a day and a half early from what we projected, and so we were able to go up into the Bighorn Mountains and went excuse me, across 14 on the north end, and they came back across 16 on the south end. Got to see the majority of the mountain range. Well, not majority. Got to see part of the mountain range that you could drive through. Some of those peaks were one end was like 9,000 feet. The other one was like 9,500 feet elevation. We drove up over. Kids played in the snow at the top. It was still snowpack up there on the very top, and got to see moose and all kinds of antelope and deer, mule deer, and turkeys. I mean, we saw all kinds of wildlife, and there was antelope. Where we were at was the church used to be called Antelope Valley, and there was antelope. I mean, there was.
Oh, really?
They were that close in town. There's this little hill up behind the church, and they were grazing on there every morning out there within pistol range.
So people go out there to hunt those things all the time, and I don't see nothing that challenging about it. I stopped in and saw John my brother when he was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and they was laying. There was 100 of them in the BX parking lot. I mean, how hard is it to kill one of those things?
Yeah, well, if you're getting out there tracking them across the fields, it might be different than shooting them in the parking lot.
I just want to go shoot one, man. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, they're small. Those moose are huge, though, man. We saw one big bull moose up close. I mean, he was probably, I'd say from the van, he was probably 75 yards. I mean, close enough that you could get some good shots of him. But and then we saw three more, but they were probably 150, 200 yards out and moving away from us on the other side of the fence, so we couldn't really get up and close on them. But saw everything but bears and mountain lions. Saw lynx right across the road, and just beautiful, beautiful up there. Those mountains. Wanted to go over to Yellowstone. It's just too far of a haul. I mean, from Gillette to Yellowstone is about just one way. It's like 300 miles dead center, and then and some of that's going through all these mountain regions where you're going 20 miles an hour. So it's like a 10.5 hour drive of just drive time just to go over there and back. Not any time to stop or.
You didn't take your camper with you, did you?
No, I took old Bess. I took the excursion. We decided to last like a week out. The kids were like about to have mutiny on me because they didn't want to ride in the back seat of my truck all the way to Wyoming. And it's like, we need more room. We want to take the van. I'm like, well, we're towing a trailer. We took a cargo trailer, foot cargo trailer, and hauled all of the food and all of the luggage and tools because we took a complete cabinet maker's tool set out there. He built 2 cabinets, like a welcome center cabinet, and built a youth or children's chicken station cabinets on site, 2 of them in 3 days.
Nice.
So he had all his tools, and I had my tools, and I took generators and thing for every kind of eventuality. We used everything but the air compressor. Everything but the generator. We used the air compressor, and so they were throwing a fit, and so my excursions got 260,000 miles on it left. I got back, I had 269,000. On the way out there, before we got out of Kentucky, we started smelling smoke, and I thought, oh no, what's going on? I had the oil changed and had the new tires put on, new brakes put on. I had 2 different mechanics go all the way through it, make sure it was sound. And everybody said, oh, it's good to go. You're going to need transmission work, another 10, 15,000 miles, but it should be good. And like to Evansville, when I was smelling smoke, and there was like oil on the back of the trailer. I'm like, what in the world? And come to find out, they put transmission fluid in. Well, they put more in than supposed to be in it, and it blew it out.
Oh no!
So when it got hot, it blew it out on the manifold, which made the smoke, and then blew it out and covered the whole back of the trailer and the back end of the excursion with transmission fluid. So it stunk the whole time. but there wasn't anything wrong with it. No, it didn't hurt. I mean, once it blew out the excess, it was fine. It was right at the right level, but they put too much in it. And so when it started hitting those hills, pulling that trailer, it got hot, and the excess blew out like it's supposed to.
Right.
But it just made a big nasty mess. But did good. I mean, I was running 75, 80, pulling that trailer all the way out there. Big old V10 just pulls right on. And
there you go.
I was busting the wind for everybody else behind me. they were all staying in my tail. My what is it? The drafter, the NASCAR guys.
Drafting.
Yeah, they were drafting off me when they could keep up. Those Chevys couldn't hardly keep up with that Ford though.
Oh, easy now, easy.
And 2 Chevy vans, they were struggling to keep up. It's pretty much because the roads were so rough they couldn't keep up. It's pretty much the reason they could keep up and keep slowing down for them.
I went and put my deposit down and ordered a camper shell for my truck today. I had a backflip on the back of it, and I sold it to a guy at work that just bought a brand new truck, and he was going to get one. I said, well, I'll make you a good deal on mine because I'm fixing to take it off to put a camper shell on. Yeah. So I went up and ordered it today, and they told me to be 3 weeks. It's coming out of Illinois, so we'll see. I hope it's not like waiting on a suppressor.
Oh yeah, I tell you, I enjoy the lid I've got on mine. I don't know what you call it. It's the Diamondback cover.
Yeah,
It's good. Locks up. I can open the front and the back up, and I can park stuff on top of it, throw lumber on top of it, throw rocks on top of it. It'll haul it all. But I would like to have the additional room of a shell. But I really enjoy my truck camper. It's just nice to be able to stop anywhere and go in there and sleep or whatever.
Do you have a Palomino?
Yeah, Palomino soft. It's a backpack edition.
Yeah, they
It's a soft side, so it raises up top on it, but the heater keeps it warm.
the bed and stuff is out over the top of the cab.
Yeah,
Yep.
There's a queen bed that goes over the cab.
Yeah, they got one up there where I ordered my camper shell, and I was in it messing around up there the other day when I was looking, and one of my buddies, he's like, "This is what you need right here." I do, but I don't, because I can't be going up and down hills down there hauling duck hunters and all that stuff, and let them hang out in the back of the camper. They'll be cooking breakfast and everything else back there before I get down to the duck hole.
You just, when you get to your site, you can drop the legs on it and just set it off and just pull out from underneath of it. And you don't have anybody, if you got a campsite,
Right?
So you can just unhook from it. Just getting the truck worked on out in Butte, Montana, and just run the jacks down and just pull out from underneath of it, and it'll sit there. Unless, in our case, we had 70-mile-an-hour winds, and so I had to lower it all the way down to the ground to keep it from getting blown over. There was a forest fire and 70-mile-an-hour winds going through, and so it was like the worst time to have it jacked up fully off the ground. It was a rough week, I tell you, out there in Butte. Something about Butte, it doesn't like us. Either it wants me to stay forever or it doesn't want me to ever come back. I don't know. We really get off subject here. Okay, we've been catching up because we've been gone for so long. All right, so the mission trip was good. We went to it was a church plant for those that haven't been sort of following along. It was a church plant in Gillette, to be Antelope Valley Baptist Church. The membership had sort of decreased over the years, and it was an older population, and they just weren't able to keep the church up, and reached out to Emmanuel Baptist out of Billings, who we have a relationship with, developed a relationship with through the mission board there in Montana over the last few years. And they said, hey, we need help with this new church plant. We need to I got Sirius talking to me while I'm trying to do this. I got a new phone, and I don't know what I'm doing with it, and I'm dangerous. So I'm just warning you right now. There ain't no telling what might happen. I'm going to turn this on airplane mode so that we'll quit talking while I'm trying to talk. So back to, where was it? Gillette, Wyoming. They had a new church plant. Needed painting done, needed some construction work done in the cabinetry we talked about, needed plumbing issues, had some electrical issues. We did all those things. We had the right mix of people to show up, and we had good, hardworking people that worked and didn't gripe and complain, and did all they could do every day. We had people that were getting up, literally, they were at work in the church at 5 o'clock in the morning. We were starting breakfast at 7, so people were getting up and starting to work at 5. Working till breakfast, going and working until lunch, and then back to supper, and they would stay and work until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night just to knock it out, because it was such a massive amount of work to be done, and they were just worried that we weren't going to get done. But by Monday, we knocked out 30% of the work the first day, and by Tuesday we were 75% done. Wednesday was the last hard day, and we were pretty much done. We worked until about 11, 12 o'clock Wednesday, and Thursday morning we just were doing touch-ups, and we were pretty much done by 10 o'clock that day. And we were just going around looking for other projects to do, and then we had a big cookout for the community. Invite all the people in the community. We had prayer walking, just going around and asking people if they had prayer needs, need to pray forward, invite them to the church, invite them to Bible school coming up, and just making connections to those people. So we had teams out doing that. All my children went, but my oldest one, he's on his own now. But we had lots of kids there. I think we had out of the 25, 10 were children under
Oh,
the age
really?
of yeah. So and they were going outdoor knocking and meeting kids in the street, inviting them to come to the church, and they had a basketball camp we had for 2 days there that we helped out with. It was just a lot going on, and the team did really great. God showed up, and lots of gospel presentations, and more than anything else, it grew our team. Grew them more spiritually mature, and that's why I want my children to go. I think it helps them to learn the value of hard work, and it helps them to grow spiritually and trust in God when you're 15 1400 miles away from home. You have to trust God to take care of things you just aren't in control of, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's a good building. It's good faith building. It's good um, I don't know, character building kind of a thing for my children. That's why my children always go on mission trips with me. Whether they want to or not, they're going to go. My grandfather started dragging me off on mission trips when I was 11, 12 years old, and so it was good to get those connections between the older people in the church, the people that were now my age. Back then, they seemed so old, but my age, I make connections with. I'm still friends with now. I mean, how it was. If you went on missions, you were working with James Jones, and you was working with the McDowells, and you was working, all these guys that just always kidding and joking around, and you got to know them as fellow believers. It wasn't like some old person in the church. You
Right.
had a connection with them. And when you came home from college, whether they were checking on you, and whenever you were missing, they would say, "Hey, missed you," and glad to see you back. And so once you make those connections in the church, you're more likely as a kid to stay in church, after graduation
Right.
because you have relationships there. And I want my children to have that. I want that to be developed in them. So, but we'll get more in all that stuff later. Well, we may not. We may have already hit it. So on the gun side, I'm rattled on about this. I've been trying to get some rest since we got back, but we've just been running. We had closed our house right before we left, and we were supposed to go on a youth trip here in another week or so. So we were trying to get all the summer projects done before we left on it because summer's gonna be over with by the time we got back. And things switched around, and so I've got some other people that are going to go in our place. But my wife is getting drug off to Center Kid Camp, so she's going to be going next week. And then I'm running Daphne down to a drama camp this week, and it's just running every different direction. So on the gun side, of course, concealed carried all the way out there, all the way back, even in Illinois, I concealed carried. But you can't, by law, get out of your vehicle, but you can carry it on your person in your vehicle, and interstate or wherever. But carried there too, and I took what did I take with me? I took the I took a Falcor Reese, and I've got it set up for a defensive gun, 100 yards or less, kind of set up on it, and a sling, and I think I had 8 mags with me, and then I got bad. I had a ammo can with about 2,200 rounds in it. So if I got an opportunity to go prairie dog hunting or something, I had some extra ammo, and then I carried the Sub 2000 with me in my backpack, and then I've got the Glock 26 with me. Had it as my backup gun the whole week. Worked in the church the whole time, carrying concealed. Nobody knew it, but people who already knew I was carrying. It just crossbreed holsters, just keep them hidden and keep the spare mags hidden, and it's not a problem. They wear all day. I mean, I would be getting up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and wearing it until literally midnight every day.
It just works.
It works. There's no problems with it. Nobody knows about it. It's where it needs to be at. It's safe and secure. I'd be laying down on the ground or getting up or crawling around or working up underneath sinks or something. It'd be right where it's supposed to be at. So they had a Palmetto State Armory had a really good sale on the AR pistol lowers. I picked one up last was it right? I guess over the weekend. It was a 4th of July sale, and I also picked up a 223 pistol upper. So those will be coming in sometime next week. So I'm gonna build me a little mini puff like you got.
Little puff.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put. I got a 10.5 inch barrel. I didn't go with
Oh,
the
did you?
8. Yeah, I want that little bit of extra oomph in it.
I
And
got a
I'm gonna
seven
pick
and a
it.
half on mine, and I'll tell you what, that
Yeah,
little TRS 25 red dot I got on it, 100 yards,
yeah,
man. I can wear it out with it, no problem.
yeah. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna set up for a can. One of those. Oh, good grief! Barking spiders. One of those spikes
Mm-hmm.
tactical barking spider.
Yep.
Put it on it and on the back, um, and just throw that in my bag too. Those dudes are so light, and the firepower just can't be beat.
No.
Yeah. So got that working. For my birthday, my wife was gracious and got me the ATN. I was crying about the ATN Excite 2.
I saw.
Yep. Literally, I got that's behind it before we had to jump in the truck take off for Wyoming. So I was wanting to work on it this week, but it's been raining ever since we got home. It's been raining. I mean, cats and dogs raining, like flooding the fields, running off, raining like constantly since we've been back. So I have not been able to get out in the rain and play with that yet because I will melt. And then I was in Bowling Green yesterday. I was in Bowling Green yesterday and picked up a really cool deal. They have Vortex uh, Strike Eagle, the AR sight. AR was it 1 to 4 power sight.
Uh-huh.
They had it with like a $90 mounting, the Vortex mounting bracket for an AR for $249,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's usually $249 just for the scope. And so that was about $9 off because I checked on the web everywhere. I was, how you do when you're like Cabela's or wherever. So you pull up Amazon, you pull up gun deals, and you pull up
Oh, yeah. Slick
all
gun.
these sites. It's like, okay, is there any better deals out there anymore? And I didn't find anything within $90 of it. It was lowest price. I thought, well, I need that for the other ER build I'm working on because I'm gonna switch over and put that put the red dot I've got on my other ER on on a different gun, and I'm gonna put the Vortex on the other ER.
Dude, I got a, I don't know. I don't know if we talked about it. We may have, but my axles, and I put a Burris TAC 30 on mine, and
Yeah, you were telling me.
man, that thing is a tag driver. The
Yeah.
glass is good in it. It's not a Vortex, but
Mm-hmm.
um, it's
Burris
still a
is a big.
nice.
Burris is a good scope.
It's still a nice. It's a very nice scope, and my buddy, my son-in-law was shooting it this weekend. First time he got to shoot it, and he was trying to talk me out of it. He said, "What do you want to trade for it?" I'm like, "I don't want to trade nothing for it right now, unless you go get a Vortex or something, and then we'll talk."
Yeah. Well, I like about the Vortex is the extended eye relief. I mean,
Yeah,
it's about 4 or 5 inches from the back of that scope, and you can see clear through there. It's. I don't have to have it my eye right up on it to get good vision through it.
that's the same with that Burris. It's got good eye relief on it. You ain't got to get right up on it.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I picked it up. I mean, that was the cheapest I've ever seen them go. I've been watching on those. It's not the high end HD one. That's like $1,800. I haven't gotten my piggy bank that full yet, but that one will do fine for what I'm shooting, 100 yards or less.
Right.
It's gonna be good. Gonna be a good scope for that. So that's my gun stuff. I think I covered everything more than I should have. EDC check. I've got the Glock 19 Gen 3 with the RMR on it. Um, Surefire XC1 light. I really like that light. It's so small but still bright. Carrying spare mag in the Gideon crossbreed, and I got another spare in my cargo pants pocket, in my cargo pocket of these proper shorts I'm wearing today. And then today I've got the Ruger SP101 and a pocket holster for my backup. So that's my EDC check for the day.
Nice. Mine is all day I've been carrying my Glock 19. Carrying a paddle holster today. As soon as I got home, I switched it over to the Super Tuck Deluxe Extra Mag, and I actually just took it off a little while ago and laid it on the end table right next to my chair. And I grabbed my computer bag and stuff from around here, which I have an HK VP9 in that. So I got it sitting here next to me. Plus, I got the Kel-Tec, I got the Smith & Wesson, and the safe is right behind me full of everything that I need. So I feel pretty good in this room.
Yeah. I started, before we left on our trip, I went around and got all my hide guns and put them in the safe. And
I know, right?
Started pulling them all out of different places. Like, wait, I got no one over here. And I go over here. I got a shotgun in this corner, and then got a pistol up here. And I got we got almost to Illinois, and I have a pistol up that shelf. we had a house sitter for us while we were gone, who took care of the dogs and watered the plants and checked the alarm system, make sure everything was good to go. So that was really helpful about being back up here in LaRue County. And I've got lots of good neighbors that take care of stuff while we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been nice having people care about your pets, care about your stuff while you're gone. You don't have to take them to the kennel. We get to stay home and all that. So is that your EDC stuff?
That's it for me today. Comedy Corner. I got some Comedy Corner tonight. This came from our buddy Chad. Sent me another one. I like this one. It was pretty good. It's called Answered Prayers. After starting a new diet, I altered my drive to work to avoid passing my favorite bakery. I accidentally drove by the bakery this morning, and as I approached, there in the window were a host of chocolate donuts and cheesecakes. I felt like this was no accident, so I prayed, Lord, it's up to you. If you want me to have any of these delicious goodies, create a parking place for me directly in front of the bakery. And sure enough, on the 8th time around the block, there it was. God is so good.
Baptist theology right there, baby.
That's it. That's it. Keep going till you can't go no more.
Perseverance. It says pray without ceasing. Pray to go around the block.
It does. It's going to open. It's going to open. God's going to do it. I thought that was pretty good. That was a good one, Chad.
Good. Just first listener feedback.
All right, the first one came to us from Andy White. It says, Doug and Troy, after listening to your podcast episode 184, summer is here, bass fishing and terrorists. It inspired me to go fishing in a lake near me. After not getting anything on the first try, I went to another lake, rented a rowboat. I was the motor and caught one largemouth bass, 11 inches long, and it had to be 12 inches to keep it, so I put it back. 2 yellow perch, 1 bluegill, first cast, and 8 red ear sunfish, all babies. All 3 were very tasty. While fishing, I was reminded of the fact that God put all the wildlife here for us to enjoy, watching if we are so inclined, catching and eating. It also reminded me that all of the political turmoil, attacks on Islamic fundamentalists, and violent crime in the U.S. On the rise. Enjoy the great outdoors. God's gift for all of us. God is also telling us to slow down and enjoy life. I had not fished freshwater since around 1980. A lot of salt water before and after. I was reminded of how peaceful and relaxing freshwater fishing can be. A day of sun, some exercise, admiring the scenery, um, contemplating the Bible, and doing battle with a fish. Life is good. Thank God. Keep doing God's work. A time to kill the myth of Christian path,
Pacifism.
pacifism. There you go. Pacifism is the third book down. Andy White.
All right.
I had emailed Andy back and told him, that some of my most relaxing times and um, time I can just calm down is sitting in a tree stand, sitting on a boat, casting a rod, on a creek bank, something, and just enjoying, what God has given us, and you need to take those times every once in a while and just slow down, man. What is it? They used to say, slow down, smell the roses.
Yep. It reminds me of last summer's trip with Gunner in Montana, Wyoming, Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, enjoying watching him fishing along the creek, just being there with him, spending time, the smile on his face when he come running up and showing me the fish he pulled in. And just those times you just don't get back. I need to spend more time with him out there doing it with the girls as well.
That's right.
Well, we got a letter from Tim, our buddy Tim Kim up in Chicago. We hadn't heard from him all, and I didn't realize he had been sick. So he just said he wanted to give an update. In early April, he had a life-threatening case of pneumonia that had him on dual life support for 2 weeks. This really took a toll on his body. Lost over 30 pounds, especially his lungs. He had to spend another month or so in inpatient rehab. He said he couldn't breathe or sit upright and had so much muscle wastage it took him weeks to stand for more than a few seconds. He said, luckily I'm fairly young, early 30s, and my body responded pretty well to rehab. Now I'm an outpatient going 3 times a week for 3 hours a session. I can the time. I can generally move about the house, but am on oxygen, need to catch my breath after the smallest of tasks. He said this illness has kept me from work and just worried about his family, and just he's asking for you guys to pray for him, and we've definitely been praying for him since we got this message. I had no idea. We were on the road and I read this message. We just first place I got to stop. I stopped just, for Tim. I'm sorry, Tim. I didn't realize you was out. I thought maybe he was just busy. I hadn't heard from you in a while, and didn't realize you were that ill. And so we've been praying for you, and our listeners continue to pray for Tim through the show, through Patreon, and he's been with us for a long time, just supporting us, giving us good advice, sending me personal messages and things to encourage me with my weight loss and the things I've been going through. So we want to keep Tim in our prayers. You guys remember Tim, and pray that God would restore him to health and restore his lost wealth and the losses of time he's lost here, taking care of his family. Just watch over his family and him, and help him to get his life back in control here soon. But I can tell you at times when I've been really sick and not being able to take care of my family, it's just really wears on you. You just, because you feel like a failure, you just feel like that you're not part as a provider when you're ill and sick and have to depend on other people. It's just the hardest thing for a man to do. For most men, to have to depend on other people, but we just want to remember Tim and pray that his health gets back as quick as possible. All right, so Bible verse tonight is going to be Bible verses. I'll be coming out of Isaiah 26:13 through 21. We read the ESV version, and you guys hang with me here. I'm going to turn my head and read this. Our Lord, our God, other lords beside you have ruled over us, but in your name alone we bring to remembrance. They are all dead and will not live. They are shades. They will not arise. To that end, you have visited them with destruction and wiped out all of them. Remembrance of all of them. But you have increased the nation, O Lord. You have increased the nation. You have glorified. You have enlarged the borders of the land. O Lord, in distress they sought you and poured out a whispered prayer. when your discipline was upon them, like a pregnant woman who writhes and cries out in her pangs when she is near giving birth. So were we, because of you, O Lord. We were pregnant and writhed, and we have given birth to wind, and we have accomplished no deliverance in the earth, and the inhabitants of the world have not fallen. Your dead shall live, their bodies shall rise. You dwell in the dust and awake and sing for joy. For your dew is dew of light, and the earth will give birth to the dead. Come, my people, enter your chambers and shut your doors behind you, and hide yourselves for a little while until the fury passes by. For behold, the Lord is coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, and the earth will disclose the blood shed on it, and no more cover its slain. In Isaiah 26:13 through 21. And so what we see here is the the recognition that God is everlasting. Others have claimed to be gods who come, but they die and they don't get back up. They turn to dust, as it says here in these verses. And so many times in Israel, you'll see that they have fallen after false gods. They have chosen to follow not the true Yahweh, not the true living God. They would follow after other things, to thinking that they would be powerful, to thinking that they would be rich, or thinking that they would be liked, or whatever the case might be. And all those things, they fail. There's a time coming, a judgment time. And I was reading these verses earlier in the week, and they just really resonated with me. And where it started is I had a really awful dream, and this has happened to me more and more, where I have dreams that are just, I'm not watching these kind of shows that would cause that. I don't read those kind of books. I don't watch TV programming like that. So these images, I don't know where they're coming from, but God uses them to realize that there is a bad time coming. And I don't know how to explain this, guys, but I just have these awful, horrible images, and in the middle of these images, I start praying in my dreams. And so, I think it was Tuesday, I was in one of those dreams. I was praying, and this verse just came out to me over and over again. The last verse here. Behold, the Lord is coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, and the earth will disclose the bloodshed on it, and no more cover its slain. There is a judgment coming. And so, if you're ready for it, great. If you're confessed up and your faith is in Jesus alone for your salvation, and you put your faith daily in God alone for your deliverance, for your every need. But are you sharing the gospel? And the reason I say that is because on this trip, we really encouraged our members to share the gospel every opportunity they got. I didn't get much opportunity, and there were several of us that didn't, because we were stuck in the church physically doing some things, and I really regret that we didn't get to do that. But on the way home, we had opportunity to share a couple of different occasions with lost people. Once at a hotel as we were leaving, another time at a McDonald's we stopped at for a restroom break, and met a young man. And opportunities every day we have to share the gospel, because judgment's coming. It's all through the Bible that it's coming. It's in Isaiah, it's in Revelations, it's all throughout the Bible about a coming judgment. And if you look at the signs, I'm not saying it's tomorrow, I'm not saying it's next week, it may be 1,000 years from now. We need to be prepared. We're supposed to be prepared. We're supposed to be proclaiming the gospel. We're supposed to be, every one of us are called to be preaching the gospel. And so if you're not proclaiming the gospel, I encourage you to do that. If you're not a believer, I encourage you to search your scriptures and see and find the truth, because your soul is going to rest in eternity one place or another, and it's upon you uh, to search out and find, is God true? And if you believe that, what he says to do as a believer, and you need to be sharing the gospel with friends and family. You should be hated because of Jesus. Jesus said, they will hate you because of me. They'll know who you are because of your love, but they'll hate you, the evil ones, will hate you because of me. If you're not being hated on, you're not there yet. And I
Not
think we're
doing
going to see
something
that
right.
persecution. Well, I think we're going to see that persecution. I mean, we are surrounded, even to this, a lot of people who are believers or know about the Bible or know are good people. There's a lot of people out there that are people. They may not believe in Jesus. They may believe that their works are going to get them to heaven. One of the gentlemen we were talking with, well, I'm a pretty good person. I think I'll get to heaven. Paul says your works are worthless. The only thing that gets you to heaven is faith in Jesus alone and dying to oneself, giving up your right to be you. You have to be what Jesus wants you to be, right? Now, Jesus created you for a purpose, and you have unique abilities. I'm not saying you got to change your personality, but you have to do the purpose that Jesus created you for, right? You have to submit that. You have to die to yourself, to your wants, your desires, and you have to live for Him. And that's a daily struggle for each of us. It's a daily struggle for me. Every morning when I get up, I want to do something on my own instead of reading. But God's getting my attention these days, and He's waking me up in the middle of the night and early in the morning with, I wake up in a prayer for family, wake up in a prayer for the church, wake up in a prayer for our country. I wake up in a prayer for the lost, and God's calling me to that. It's not something that I would do on my own, but He's saying, hey, get it out of bed and start praying. And it might be 4 o'clock in the morning, it might be 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is that God wakes me up. But He's getting me up for a purpose. And I want to share it with you guys that the time is coming, and I think it's pretty close, that we need to get, well, it's way past time to be sharing the gospel. The reason the country's in the shape it's in is because the believers haven't been doing what they're called to do. And they've been having really good club meetings and hanging out with their buddies, but they haven't been going out word of proclaiming the gospel in their communities and their families. And so we see the kind of world we have now here in America. And so it's upon us to be proclaiming the gospel. It's not upon the preacher. I mean, he's doing his job. But if you're a believer, if you're not a believer, I encourage you to research it. Call me, text me, whatever. Send me emails. You all have got my contact stuff. You can get a hold of me or Doug, and we'll share the gospel with you. We'll explain it, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you got. So that's my encouragement from Isaiah 26:13 through 21. Anything, Doug?
Nope, you covered it good, man.
Okay. But, I don't know what God's got coming. I know what the Bible says, but I know that God is really right now working in my apathy and my just in my family. I see a lot of changes in spiritual maturity in my family, and so I'm encouraged by that. I see my and sharing the gospel in ways I have never seen her do it before, and I see my children and they're sharing the gospel. It's really encouraged me. So you're working on that great commission, right? We're all called go out, spread the gospel wherever you're at. Street, house next door, at your work, gas pumps, wherever you're at. All right, so we're going to wrap that up. How can you help out the show? Well, we have this Patreon account that people asked us to open up. Tim has been the biggest sponsor, and we hope that and pray that he recovers well. And I've told him he needs to stop this as patronage until he gets things back on his feet. We want to do that. Doug Schultz is number 2. Steve Stone. I think Steve's on here listening to us tonight.
He is.
Hey, Steve. So we got somebody saying something weird. I don't know.
Yeah, we got a couple on here that I just had to block. They're just
saying awful stupid stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's
typical. Hey, but maybe they'll pay attention to the Bible verses, huh?
Yeah, pay attention to the Bible verses. So Steve was on there a while ago. I saw him. So we talked about Gillette, Wyoming. We're going to be going back next year. Everybody that went this year wants to go back. Oh, sorry, I left Patreon hang out there. If you want to sponsor us through Patreon, we'd be very happy. Patreon.com/guidandguns. So, main topic was just going back to mission trip in Gillette. We had 25 go. Everybody said they wanted to go back, with the exception of maybe a couple, because I didn't get a chance to talk to them. But when we got back, everybody that was unpacking said, "Hey, we want to go next year." So that's a good sign. We've got a couple other places that we're looking at. We're looking at Green Valley, Wyoming, which is like 5 hours south. We're looking at a town about an hour north of Billings, and we're looking at maybe Sheridan, Wyoming for next year. So we got a few things out there already starting to work for next year. So that's going on. If you've never been on a mission trip, I encourage you to get with your church and trips, and you probably need to go find another church. And I'm not being mean about that. I'm just saying that churches that don't go and do the Great Commission don't tend to live very long. They tend to drop and die off, and they don't. You're usually not very spiritually mature. They're not very deeply rooted in the scriptures, I don't believe, because you're called as a church to support and send and go, and you're called individually to go. If you're physically infirm, you can't understand, but if you can't, then support someone else to go. Bucks or something to help another person that needs funds to go. It builds the church. It builds individuals. It grows them, and important part of the Christian's life to go on mission. And you don't necessarily have to go to Africa or to Russia or China or wherever. But you can just do it right there in your own community. You don't even have to leave the town. You can just go and find out who has things that need to be done. You might have elderly members at your church just need someone to come out and sweep their yard or pick up rocks or fix the fences or all that kind of stuff. There's just all kinds of things that you can do to show the love of God and love on people and show the love of Christ. And you can do that in your own community. You can do it in the street. I mean, there's places to go. You can go to NAM and find mission opportunities if you're Baptist. If I don't know the other congregations, but I know there's lots of different mission teams every year out west working on the Indian reservations and things like that. There's opportunity everywhere, and it grows you, and you honor God by showing the love of Christ through work and through the gospel. So that's all I'll say about that. We're just going to keep her moving. Just other ways you can support the show. You can join the NRA. You use our link. It will save you $10, and they'll help us out. DVOR, DVOR. If you use our link, they'll send us a little bit of love if you buy something. It's a clearinghouse for Optics Planet, and Doug and I are always getting cool stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
Reporter, John, the guys over at Laser Activated Shot Reporter have given us a coupon code GANDG for Guiding Guns, GANDG. You get 10% discount. It's use a SIRT pistol, and you set your targets up on the wall on the computer. Webcam recognizes the targets, and you are able to dry fire in the comfort of your home or your garage or a barn or wherever you want to put it at. It's a great way to practice in adverse weather, cold or whatever, to get out. But you can practice dry fire, pulling from concealment, all the things that you need to work on, trigger control, all all things you can work on without ever firing around, and it's very reasonable, and it has really improved my draw speed and just my trigger control, just breaking that trigger consistently and keeping that gun on target. Hoplite Armor, we are Hoplite Armor affiliate. Use a link on our show notes, and you can. They will send us some love if you purchase something. Frog Lube is yours, Doug. You want to take Frog Lube?
Your Frog Lube, the green, minty fresh, non-petroleum based lubricant for your gun. It just worked, guys. Troy and I've been using it forever. We've showed it to you. I don't have my green stuff in here because I actually had it in the living room, but I do have the degreaser and cleaner that I've been using, and you guys saw me do a little video with cleaning some guns by mixing it up in water and dropping my gun parts down in it, which was just. It just broke my heart to try it first time, but Larry promised me that they would be fine. Frog Lube them, and they're good, and they are. So it works. So go check those guys out at the Frog Lube store, froglube.com. Use our promo code God and Guns and get a 10% discount on us. Also, Crossbreed holsters. You've heard us talk about them. Troy and I both carry the Super Tuck Deluxe. And there is no finer holster than a Crossbreed holster. Well, they make belts as well. If you need a belt, the things just work great. They don't stretch out. They don't get twisted like some belts do when they get a little bit wet or something. So go check those guys out, crossbreedholsters.com, and carry the cross.
Carry the cross. All right. NRA Armed Citizen, Doug, what you got for us tonight?
NRA Armed Citizen tonight comes to us from, my home state of Georgia. Off-duty officer shoots, kills man caught stabbing a woman. This came from the Associated Press, July the 4th. Brunswick, Georgia. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says an off-duty police officer has shot and killed a man who was stabbing a woman. Authorities tell news outlets that Brunswick officer Aldred Spalding III was in the area Monday evening, and someone alerted him of a domestic dispute outside an apartment. The Bureau says David Leon Bell was stabbing the woman when Spalding arrived, and the officer shot him. Brunswick police said Tuesday that Bell has died at the hospital. The woman's reportedly in stable condition. Spalding is at administrative leave during the Bureau's investigation, which is standard procedure. Brunswick is about 60 miles north of Jacksonville, Florida, which we actually have somebody on listening from Jacksonville tonight with us. So we had a shooting here right next to us down in Bon Air, which is just 5-6 miles down the road from where I'm at. Another domestic dispute. A girl called the police. She was trying to leave her husband, and he took a knife out and slashed all of her tires, so she couldn't leave. The police officer showed up and was talking to the guy and asked him or told him that his wife was going to go in and get some things out of the house, and he was going to stay out there, and the wife went inside. The guy ran in behind her, and she went out the back door, and the police officer went into the house and was trying to tell the guy to leave, and apparently he pulled a gun on the police officer, and it ended bad for him.
Yeah, imagine. Well, I reckon we're going to wrap it up. Looks like we got blasted by the tonight. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah,
we've upset the natives somewhere.
I took care of.
You took care of them?
Gillette. I was reading something.
I
blew them out of there. Oh, you answered him. Oh, you're good. Yeah, I figured out how to remove posts and block people from posting. So
that's sad.
It's a shame that you got to do that on a show like this. But hey, yeah,
devil's always at work.
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
I just blocked them from commenting. They can still listen to the Bible verses.
That's good. They need them. Sounds like.
Yes, they did.
All right, so. Again, we're going to wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at GunGunsPodcast.com. I guess we're going to get blown up with that now.
Yeah. Doug at GunGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review unless you're a jerk. And then like us on Facebook, facebook.com/GuyandGunsPodcast. Or Canadian.
Canadian.
No, we have some good Canadians up here.
Yeah, we do.
Just one bad one.
Just that one that don't like you for listening Crisco up in a bucket.
Bucket and a chainsaw and flip-flops. I mean, come on.
Subscribe to us and like us in the South.
Subscribe to us and follow us on YouTube. I'll put the link in there because it's so long. You'll never keep up with it. Follow us on Twitter at GuyandGunsPod, and search for us on Instagram, and search for us on MeWe, and our website is GuyandGunsPodcast.com. So until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
Keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Later.